everybody, and welcome back to Shine Like a Diamond. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Let me move my camera just a tad bit here. Hopefully my head will stay out of the way this time. I've had some problems lately forgetting where my head is, and yeah. Anyways, today I am going to be working on the Ice Princess. This one is from Diamond Art Club. It is this one right here. Isn't she pretty? So yes, it's the Ice Princess round. It does have ABs. It's a 55 by 69. I did decide to put Willow away until the springtime. And the reason I did that was because I really wanted to work on this one when it was cold and snowy and winter outside. And so I figured, it's February. I better do it before, it's all of a sudden summertime. Because that's how time just goes by so fast lately. Anyways, and then Mindy's Diamond Moment and Kiss My Crafts are both doing a collaboration that is called Hannah-Lynn Paint Along. So you pick, one of Hannah-Lynn's pieces to paint, and they have all sorts of little drawings and all that stuff. Anyways, you got an extra something if you chose one of the ones they're working on. Kiss My Crafts is working on Moon Glow, and Mindy is working on Ice Princess. And so it just gave me another excuse to do Ice Princess. Now, Ice Princess is, oh, holy moly, sorry. Ice Princess is... There's two additions to the Ice Princess. There's the first one, which is the one I have. It's like her whole body. And then there's the next one, which is more like the upper portion, like her head and stuff, and it's kind of just blown up bigger. Now, the reason I like the first edition better, and I'm really glad that I got it, was because it has the snow leopard and the owl. And I just think, and her dress. Oh my gosh, I love her dress. I think I'm actually going to change some stuff. I'm going to do a little bit of customizing here and there with the dress and add some extra sparklies and stuff to it, which I think is going to be super fun. I'm going to move this over here a little bit. So I've got my little, this is my, see, I don't want to lose my magnet down there. This is my cookie, it's my flower jar. So this one came with a set that I made that also has a little rolling pin, which I love. So I'm using the little flower container as my trash. Then I've got the parrots with me, and I've got this new one, which is the owl, the bejeweled owl. Let me bring you in close so you can see. So I've got this one, and this one comes in 3 colors. It's this teal, pink, or purple. And then I've got my purple unicorn and my new giraffe guy and my rooster and my sleeping pony. And I love this guy. Oh my gosh, you guys can't see him right now. Hold on, let me move my camera. Look at him. Is he not the cutest thing in the world? This is Mr. Sloth, and he is holding his heart. And I have named him Edward. So this is Edward the Sloth. Then I've got the beautiful peacock. I love these colors. They're I just love the colors. They're so pretty. And then I've got my kitty friend down here also sitting with me. And then I'm using my diamond wax holder right now today, which is this one, which it just comes like this, and then this sits on top when you're not using the wax to keep the wax clean, fresh, all that good stuff. And then I'm also using my multi-placer holder right here, which comes from Devious Diamonds. And oh my word, I love that thing. I every time I diamond paint, I use it because it's one of those things I can actually hold all of my multi-placers in one spot and not have them falling all over and losing them. They're just all right there, which is really nice. I think I'm going to have to move Mr. Unicorn just a little bit for now, though, because they're kind of... Do I need all of these right here? No, I really don't. I'm going to move Unicorn. because it's in my hand way. Okay, so I don't need them, obviously, because I am using the white opaque covers just in my work area. But I just like to have them because they're fun and cute, and they just kind of add some pizzazz, personality. I don't have my light pad, which reminds me, I need to grab my glasses. Because I am apparently blind. So, yeah, I don't have my light pad right now. This is a pretty light painting, and so far, I haven't needed it. But it is obviously, it's nighttime. And so it's, I've just got the lights in the house, and I get some shadows and stuff with that, so I better wear my glasses at least. Because I don't feel like getting my light pad out, because I'm being lazy. Even though it's like legitimately right behind me. But that's okay. Okay. So, as I said before, it is Thursday. Today is the Thursday is a newer segment that I started at the beginning of this year, and it is Thoughts with Me. So, basically, you're going to hear some of my thoughts and opinions and beliefs and all that good stuff. Do you have to agree with them? No. Do you have to listen and watch this video? No. Your choice. Your choice. I absolutely understand that these are my opinions and my thoughts. Doesn't mean they have to be your thoughts as well. This just kind of gives me a platform to speak and say what I'm thinking or feeling or whatever. Anyway, so last week I want to touch on really quick. So last week I did a segment on bullying and suicide and just kind of this stuff, especially with teenagers. So this last week I watched a movie, and it was one of the most powerful movies that I've seen. It's called A Girl Like Her. Now, before you movie buffs rush out to go and watch it, just hold the phone for just a minute. So, is it a good movie? Absolutely. Do I recommend it? 100%. However, if you are a person that cannot handle like emotional, heavy stuff, then this is not for you. This movie is heavy. Like, I don't think it could be any more heavy than it is. It is about a young girl who is being bullied big time by a particular peer in her school, and a couple of this girl's friends. And she has this one really good friend who's been her best friend for a long time, who decides to convince her to wear a mini camera around to record what is happening. Now, this girl, Maddie, what's her name? What's the main girl's name? I'm drawing a blank on her name. Jessica.
Okay, and then there's Avery.
Yeah, so Jessica is like, I'll do it, but... And Brian is her best friend. And she tells him that she'll do it, but she makes him promise never to show anybody. It's just for their own, their own thoughts or whatever. So she does this for quite a while. Well, eventually she cannot take it anymore, and she takes a handful of pills. Her mother finds her on the bathroom floor. And of course is freaking out, calls 911, gets her to the hospital. She is in a coma because she, lost oxygen to the brain and all that stuff. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if she's going to wake up. And in the meantime, the school has won some kind of a, best test scores or something. And this TV show documentary decides to come and do a documentary about their school. Well, when they come, all of this is going on, and so the documentary turns into this whole thing of what happened to this girl, Jessica. And of course, the bully, her name is Avery. She's all, I didn't do anything, I didn't say anything, blah 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 blah. The whole story goes on, and everything kind of unfolds. It's a very emotional story um, about this girl who literally felt like she had no way out, that it was never going to end. It affected all areas of her life. This girl was texting her, social media. She would find her and push her. I mean, just relentless. But at the end, there's like not a twist as though, like a ooh, I didn't see that coming kind of twist, but a twist in you see Avery's side of things. You see what she goes through at home with her mother, who is a big time bully. It was a learned behavior. Now, the documentary team, Brian finally decides to tell somebody about this footage. And he talks to the documentary team. They see it. Well, the gal who's doing the documentary reaches out to Avery and says, I have this footage. I think you need to see it. And she shows it to her. And she just breaks down. She sees the kind of pain she's inflicted, and she truly is very sorry, and you could see it. And the end of the movie, you actually leave the movie feeling so bad for this young girl that has been taught these bad behaviors, and then it's a very emotional movie. And I am not kidding. I think this should be shown in schools. I really do. I think that teenagers should see this. It's such a good way to really show, hey, this is what happens. Suicide is forever. You don't come back from suicide. It is not something you can be like, I'm gonna do this and I'll see y'all later. No. You don't come back. And the effects that has on everybody around you, it's just a very, very emotional movie. And we watched it and I thought it was really good. Of course, there was parts of it where, I'm crying all over the place. And I'm not going to tell you the ending because I don't want to spoil it, but it's really, really good. However, like I said, I'm just warning you, it's a tearjerker. It really is an emotional one, especially if you're a mom. Anybody, it's emotional, but especially if you're a parent, because, these parents had no idea that anything was going on with their daughter. It also shows the school side of things, how they don't do enough about bullying. They don't. And it is not fair. If the bully finally stands up for themselves, they get in trouble. It's very backwards, I think, in schools. And I just think this would be an excellent movie to really open the eyes of some young kids that are pretty closed off to what they think. Teenagers, they think they have it all. They think they know it all. I remember being there, and I did not even know a little bit about life at that point. I thought I did. I thought I was, the shiznat, as people say. I wasn't. I didn't know half of what goes on in real life. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit. As we're now already 15 minutes into the video. I really didn't want to go on about it that much, but you know me. Sometimes I just blah, 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 blah. Anyways, today's topic is another heavy one. They won't always be on Thursdays, but sometimes they're going to be more about serious stuff, that's going on in the world, or my opinions on things that are heavier than my normal, whipping chats or whatever, but they won't all be. So, and I'll always tell you guys, because I never want you to come into one thinking it's going to be, unicorns and rainbows, and then be like, whoa, I just got hit in the face with some real life right there. So I'll always let you know. But today, this one is a little bit hard for me to talk about because it's very personal. And honestly, I have debated many times on if this is a video I want to make, or if it's something I don't want to. Is it part of my life I want to keep to myself, or do I want to share it with you guys? And I've gone back and forth on that a lot. So I finally, I decided, I'm going to, because this is me, and it's me whether I tell you or not. It's me whether you like it or not. It's me whether you know or not. And I don't want to be somebody that hides who I am. I don't want to be somebody that's fake. Like, when I started this channel, the best advice I got was just be yourself. And I have stayed true to that, like, as best I possibly can. Now, granted, in the beginning, you get a little nervous, you act a little different when you're nervous, that kind of stuff. But my personality-wise, like, all that kind of stuff, you get me. And whether you like it or not, that's who you get. You get the person that is goofy and all over the place, that laughs at herself, that's kind of scatterbrained a lot, that can ramble on about nothing for hours if I needed to. That is me. So, I gotta take a drink. Just seconds. Okay, if I don't keep drinking something, water to get, my voice will die. So, especially because it's nighttime. It is midnight, and of course I am still awake, and I'm like, I want to get this video recorded and done and out of the way today, so I don't have to do it tomorrow morning. I can get it up for you guys actually, earlier this time. So anyway, so we're going to talk about something that has just, the word can have such an impact on so many people, because I guarantee you that every single person watching this in some way or another has been affected by this topic. And this topic is a hard one, like I said. So this is addiction. I'm just going to get it out there. Addiction. People have such a stigma about that word, about an addict, about, they don't have any self-control. They're selfish. They don't care about anybody else. And it's so misleading to what actually is. What actually an addict is being, in the midst of their addiction. Are they going to be acting selfish? Absolutely. Are they going to seem like they have no self-control? Absolutely. Are they going to do things they would never do otherwise in their life normally? Absolutely. Because that addiction has taken over their mind, and that is the only thing they can think about, is the addiction. No matter what it is, it can be drugs, alcohol, sex. I don't care if it's even diamond painting. Now, granted, when we say, we're addicted to this, yes, we are. But it's not to a point where it is causing you or someone around you physical harm or mental harm. If it is, it doesn't matter what it is you're addicted to. If it's causing you mental strain or physical strain, it's not a healthy thing. And I have struggled a lot in my life over different things. When I was younger, I was 8 years old, and my mom is also a type 1 diabetic. Now, I love my mom, and me and my mom have a wonderful relationship. I love my mom. She's literally like my best friend. And but as a kid, we went through some stuff like most families do. My mom was super worried about me and my sister getting diabetes, because she is a type 1 diabetic. And with that worry, she has so much control that she really tried to control me and my sister's food and eating, like, to the T. Like, she was really hard on us. Really hard on us. And so was my papa before he died. She got a lot of that behavior from him, unfortunately. But, she would say certain things that just felt like such a dig. And I remember, when I was really little, I was like I said, I was about 8 years old, and we were at the table after church eating lunch, and my sister had asked for more chips. And my mom said something to her about, why can't you learn self-control like your sister? Your sister always knows when to stop. Now, she was not trying to say anything or I don't know. I'm not trying to defend it, but she wasn't trying to be mean. But in my brain, I went to, oh, she thinks I'm good at controlling what I eat. I better control what I eat. Really, really good. Well, over the years, that developed into some eating disorders. My sister grew up and had bulimia for many years. I grew up and had anorexia for many years. Now, I went through counseling for a long time. My mom went with me at times. And I have not been... I have been... what's the word? I don't want to say cured because that's not the right word. Why can't I think of the right word? I don't even know. I haven't, we'll say relapse for that word, I guess, for a long time. It has been years and years and years since I've had problems like I used to. I'm really careful too now, like in my home. We don't use the word fat. We don't use the word diet. We don't talk about appearances. We don't talk about bodies, sizes, figures. No, it's healthy or unhealthy. It's not about the way you look at all. I never say stuff like, do I look fat in this? Or, I need to go on a diet. Do you think I need to go on a diet? No, nothing like that is in my house. And obviously I have reasons for that. My counselor has made it very clear to me that I am not allowed to go on a so-called diet because I have too many issues with restricting food and trying to control that. And so I still have issues. I don't eat enough food at all. My family's always on me about it.
Me.
But yes, Maddie's over here. Me. Yes, she is. She's always on me about it, making sure, like, oh, Mom, you need to eat. You need to eat. Have you eaten? Because unlike most people, when their stomachs growl or they feel hungry, it triggers their brain, oh, it's time to eat. You need food. It doesn't happen with me. When I'm hungry, it does not feel, it's weird. It doesn't trigger my brain to go and eat. The only time that my own body will tell me, like, eat is when all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my hand's a little shaky. Crap, I haven't eaten today. Then I'm like, okay, that's too far. I need to eat. But no, I really, I've been trying really hard, especially lately, at getting into better eating habits because a lot of times, like right now, I just, I'll like not eat throughout the day and then I'll eat at nighttime and that's it. So yeah, my doctor says that my body is in what's called starvation mode all the time because I don't eat enough throughout the day. And so then when I do eat, it just like holds on to everything. So he keeps telling me, like, if you eat more, you're going to lose weight because, that's just the way your metabolism works. But it's taken me absolutely, like, so many years to be able to finally say I'm okay with my body. I am okay with the way I look. Would I like to be thinner? Yes, because it's healthier, more comfortable, but I'm okay. I am. And I honestly can say that. And before, I never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought I would be okay with my weight or my body. Because growing up, I never was. Even when I was super, 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 super skinny, I still thought I was fat. And that's part of the disorder is no matter how skinny you are, you still see yourself as fat. Anyways, it's been since I was about 21 since I was really, I haven't had issues that I used to have. My husband knows about everything. He knows about all the signs to look for and has talked to a counselor with me to make sure he can kind of watch out for that. Because I do and have used it as a coping mechanism. But yes, so, and then you might say, okay, I thought we were talking about addiction. Well, an eating disorder, it is an addiction. You are addicted to counting calories. You're addicted to figuring out how many calories you've burned compared to how many you've eaten. You are addicted to food. Even though you're not eating it, you are addicted to food. Your every waking moment is about food, how to avoid it, how to get around not eating it, how to trick people into thinking that you ate it, and all that stuff. That is your every waking freaking thought. And so it is absolutely an addiction. But a lot of people don't look at it that way, but it is. So, but as the years went on in my life, I've gone through a lot of things. I don't talk a lot of heavy stuff on my channel. I try to have like a pretty positive, like upbeat, fun, lighthearted kind of channel. And I love that because that's my day-to-day life. But there's also a place where it's like, let's get really real. And that is what I'm doing. But at the moment, I cannot find the color I want. Here it is. So annoying. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I couldn't find the color. I found it. I couldn't find the sticker that came with this painting, and so I had to photocopy the key, and unfortunately, my printer is out of colored ink, so I had to print it out in black and white. So that's what my tags look like now because I only had black and white, and so I'm not used to that. I'm used to them having color, and so I'm like, it's really throwing me off, but that's okay. It's better than me having to like write out all my tags and everything. This way is so much better. But anyway, and I used my, what are they called? Excuse me. That's not that's not what I was trying to say. I used my shipping labels and made some stickers with them, which worked really good. Anyways, okay, so back to what I was saying. This is going to be like getting real. This is down to the serious of my life. So, I have dealt with quite a lot. Like I said, most people have gone through, different things. And, when I got married when I was 20, and, me and my husband got pregnant pretty, early in our marriage. Like, we were only married like a couple months before we got pregnant. And that was my son. Now, I was not supposed to be able to have kids. I have a couple different disorders. I have endometriosis. Well, I had it. I had a hysterectomy, so I don't have that anymore. But I had endometriosis. I also had something called, what is it? Ovarian cysts. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on it right now. It's basically where you get cysts on your ovaries every single month. It causes hormone imbalances and all sorts of stuff. And then the last thing that I had was something called a bicornuate uterus. So most people's uteruses are shaped like so. So it's like a little oval circle thing. Mine is like this. It's similar to a figure 8 with a tiny opening in the middle. It is almost 2 separate uteruses, which there are people who have that, where they're actually 2 uteruses, 2 cervix, 2 everything. Very bizarre. Mine is 1, but like I said, there's just that middle tiny opening, so it's very hard to get pregnant and stay pregnant. And so, because when your uterus is like this, baby is in one side or the other side, and they can't go to the other side. It doesn't work. So they only have half a uterus to grow in. So I had Alex, my son. We were thrilled because I got pregnant so easily. And we had him 2 days before our 1-year anniversary. And then after him, we weren't trying or trying not to, due to the fact that the doctor still said, you know, he was kind of a little miracle, and they didn't think that it was going to happen like that again. I don't know what I thought, to be honest with you, but we kind of just, like I said, we weren't trying to have another baby right away, but we weren't really preventing. I wasn't nursing, which they do say if you're nursing, that is like a birth control in itself. Not always the case, let me tell you. Anyways, I ended up getting pregnant when Alex was about 10 months old. And I'm not going to go into all of these, but in between my son Alex and my daughter Maddie, we lost 6 babies. Some were straight up miscarriages that took care of themselves, and others were miscarriages where I had to have the surgery where they basically go in and have to clean everything out because my body just didn't take care of it. And one of them was an ectopic pregnancy where baby implants in the fallopian tubes, not in the uterus, and obviously the baby cannot grow in the fallopian tubes, and you can actually rupture your fallopian tubes if it's not. It's an immediate emergency situation. And so I had to take my left tube out during that surgery. Now, when I got pregnant with Maddie, between all of this too going on, I had cysts every single month. And they were painful. Let me tell you, if you've never had an ovarian cyst, or if you're a guy, it kind of feels like you have a balloon inside of you with knives sticking out of it. And the balloon is just slowly getting bigger and bigger and causing more and more piercing pain and all of this pressure. Now, eventually, you either have surgery or the cyst ruptures on its own, goes away, and you're fine, which is mostly the case. Now, I was having them at least once a month. Most people only ovulate once a month. I apparently do more than that. I'm just all whacked out. Not anymore, though, because I did have a hysterectomy when I was 26. But anyways, with Maddie, we got pregnant. I was actually furious the day I found out I was pregnant with her because I was done at that point. I had literally thrown all of our baby stuff away like a couple weeks prior to this. And because I had a miscarriage and was just fed up, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was, so frustrated. I was hurt. I ended up getting pregnant. So I wake up my husband, and this is how he found out I was pregnant. I went into the bedroom. I said, I'm pregnant again. I'm going to the doctor. I'll be back later. And that was what I said. I was mad. I was frustrated. I didn't believe that it was going to stay anyways. So why get, happy about it? I went to the doctor. She said, so far everything looks really good. So, take it easy. All that stuff they tell you to do. So I did. About 6 weeks into it, I started having severe cramping. Which, if you know much about this, that, it told me what I thought I needed to know. Yes, I'm having a miscarriage. I'm 6 weeks along. Let's go. We took Alex, my son. He was a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years old at this point. He was 2 years old. Took him to my mother-in-law's house and went to the hospital. So we were at the hospital for quite a while. They do an ultrasound, they do blood work, yada, yada, yada. They say, I'm so sorry, there's no heartbeat. You've had a miscarriage. I'm like, I already knew that. So, they gave us the whole spiel, if nothing happens within a week, you have to come back, you have to have the surgery, all that good stuff. And so, we went home, we went to get Alex, we went home, and my husband told me the whole time that the baby's fine. The baby's fine. I was furious with him because I'm like, the doctors just said that we lost the baby, and I am having cramping, and what are you saying? Like, what are you trying to do to me? That whole week, he kept telling me the baby was fine. I never, not to get graphic, but I never started to physically have the miscarriage where your body gets rid of it. So we called the doctor after about a week. It might have been even before a week, but I called the doctor, said, hey, nothing happened. I think we need to come in and schedule. It's called a DNC. She said, okay. So we went in that day, and she said, let's just see what things are looking like. And she goes to do an ultrasound, and lo and behold, there's little Maddie's heartbeat, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-pattering. Strong heartbeat. Everything looked really good. She did blood work. My blood work was excellent. It was like, it was the most insane, confusing time I think I've ever gone through, because I'm like, whoa. Wait a minute. I was told we lost this baby. We come in to schedule the surgery, and you're telling me the baby's fine? Yes. Baby is fine. And of course my husband's like, I already told you that. And anyway, so apparently what they think happened was that Maddie was a twin and one of the babies did not make it. So yeah, it's just wild. It still just blows my mind too, because that whole week I go thinking yeah, this is not happening, and then all of a sudden it is happening. And it was weird because I was so sick, you guys. Oh my gosh, I was so sick. But I just thought it was my body's reaction to the miscarriage, but I never had that before, so that should have been my first clue. Anyways, so throughout her pregnancy, I basically was on bed rest for the whole thing, because I went into labor at 18 weeks, so that's 4 months, and was on bed rest after that the rest of the time, which was great fun. Anyways, why I tell you all this was it really did a lot for emotionally to me. There's a gnat in my house. Either that or there's a spider, like a little tiny spider hanging down, which I think I got it. I don't know what it is. Where'd it go? No, it's a gnat. How did I get a gnat in my house, y'all? It's wintertime! Okay. Anyways. So it was a lot for me to deal with emotionally. I did go to a counselor and all that stuff. But after Maddie, I started having more and more painful cysts. Every month I was prescribed pain medication for it. And I was literally just... Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. She's over here pretending to cry. I gave you cysts. I'm like, you did not give me anything. I had all this before I was pregnant with her. Anyways, so I started to have, more and more painful cysts, and so I was prescribed pain medication, and the pain medication I was prescribed was called Tramadol. It was a synthetic narcotic, which was, it's not addictive at all. It's just this wonderful, pain medication that works like a narcotic, but it's none of the risk. Yeah, bull honky, I tell you. So I was on that for about 5 years. off and on. And as the years went on, I took more and more. And as my tolerance went up, of course, you take more and more. Anyways, and I think emotionally, everything I had gone through, it was not just the pain medication, it was a numbing medication to my brain. And it made me feel better. And I was okay. And I could do those things I needed to do. I also have a lot of pain. They've diagnosed me with all sorts of junky junk, fibromyalgia, and I have a autoimmune disorder that I can't even pronounce, but it causes a lot of joint pain, and I have my pelvis sits like this, and so it's twisted and turned, so it pulls my leg up. So my feet, if I were to sit and put my legs out, they're like this. They're about 1.5 inches. One leg's 1.5 inches longer than the other. And so it throws my back out of whack. So it's really messed up. So because it throws my back out of whack, I've gotten 3 herniated discs in my back. So I've had a lot of pain issues. And so, of course, what do? Medication, medication, medication. I'm like, okay, bring it on. And I don't remember at this point. So it was about, I want to say, so 2009 all the way to 2000 and, hold on, I got to do the math. Okay, so I was on pain medication from 2009 till 2014. And in 2014, I had my gallbladder taken out. I got really, really sick. My gallbladder was not working correctly. I had a twisted gallbladder, so it got clogged. So I was really, really sick. I went in, had the surgery. Then my doctor left gauze in one of my, in my stomach. I ended up having to have 3 or 4 more procedures because it got infected and I got really, really sick. It was this whole mess, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But after that, of course, pain medication for all of that. And then we got to the point where I was better. My stomach had healed. I was not needing the pain medication from them anymore. And I got to that point where I'm like, I don't even know how to get it. It freaked me out so bad that I was so dependent on it that I was like, I have to stop. I can't do this anymore. This is ruining my... nobody... And the other thing was, nobody knew. Nobody knew my issues. My husband knew, but I never told him. But nobody else knew. I hid it very, very well from everybody. People would never imagine. A lot of people still don't even know. It took me so long to say, yes, I'm an addict. And that's the thing that what I wanted to say was, this whole thing is that saying you're an addict is, like I said, there is such a stigma about it, like being selfish, no self-control, not caring about anybody else except for that. Well, in the disease, I never got so bad that was the case for me. I'm very fortunate and lucky. I recognized it earlier in the addiction before I went to anything harder. I never bought drugs illegally. I never, did anything that it was always prescribed. But even if it's prescribed, if you take more than you should, that's a problem. And that is what I was doing. And it was like, whether I was having severe pain, physical pain or not, I still took them. So that, was what was happening. Well, at the time, me and my husband were separated and I was living at my mom's house. And I just broke down. I told my mom, and I said, I need to go and I need to see somebody. I need to get off of these pills. And that's what I did. I went to a clinic, and I said, I told them, and they helped me emotionally, and I went to group therapy 3 times a week for a year and a half. I went to private counseling for a year with them. Once a week for a year and a half as well. Actually, when I was done with the group therapy, they kind of graduated me and said you could teach the class, so you don't have to come anymore. But it was an escape for me too. It was a place where I could go, I could be myself, where other, people that kind of dealt with the same issues that I was dealing with. But it taught me a lot of coping mechanisms and skills. And yeah, it did get me to a place where I could say, yeah, I have this issue and it's a medical condition, and I'm in remission. I have been clean for a full 5.5 years since then. I have not had to take one pill. Well, I shouldn't say have to. I have not. I've chosen not to. Even with all of this tooth stuff that I went through, oh my gosh, I wished for nothing else than just to be able to take a painkiller and not have to worry, that anything bad would come of it. Because, oh my gosh, that pain was miserable. But the other thing I learned was I can do this. I did it. I did it without having to take medications. I took Tylenol and ibuprofen, but I went through it, I did it, and I made it, and it made me stronger. But it doesn't ever go away. Once an addict, always an addict. Alcoholic, doesn't matter if you're, in the middle of the addiction or you're in remission. I don't know what the word is. Clean and sober. If you're clean and sober, you still have that. It's still a part of you. And yeah, it is a medical condition. And that's the thing that a lot of people still don't believe. And my mom is one of those people. My mom has more self-control than anybody. And she's so controlled with every aspect of her life. She couldn't get it. She didn't understand. To her, it was like with my food stuff, just eat. It doesn't work that way. Or just stop taking them. Doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Don't you think if it was that easy that I would have done that by now? If an addict could just stop using and it was that simple, they would. Because unless you're really early in your addiction, it is not fun. It is not fun because, yeah, it consumes your thoughts. It wasted my brain. It wasted, things that I could have been doing or thinking about because I was so worried about that. I was worried about what if I don't have enough to get me till, I get my new prescription. And if I am going to have that, then I'm going to be sick or you know what I'm saying? Again, I feel very fortunate that I have the people in my life that helped me and that I never got to that place where a lot of people get to. A lot of people that I went to group therapy with had gotten to that place. And that's a scary, scary place where you will do anything for it. And you will put it above everything. The only thing that I still can't grasp my mind over, and I am not judging or saying this isn't true or anything, but for me, I could never see, and even in the middle of it, I could never see putting that before my kids. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I made a lot of mistakes, and I did things that I wish I would never have done. But it's made me who I am, and it has made me a better person. Honestly, before all this, I had the wrong image as well about addiction. You think about, this bum who's shooting up heroin and, doesn't care about anybody who's going to steal and lie and all this stuff and you don't think about what they're going through emotionally, like what got them there and why are they doing this, and it's not just because they enjoy it or because they like it. There's a lot more to it, and I think, yeah, for a long time I couldn't even say it to myself, I'm an addict. Like, I couldn't say it. It took me a long time. Then to say it to other people, it took me even longer. I used to say, oh, I'm just going there because my body is physically addicted, but I didn't have any of the mental side effects. Like, I'm fine that way. My body just got physically addicted. And that's what I used to say. And that's what I used to tell myself in the beginning too. Until I realized that was not true. And it's taken me a lot of time and work to get where I am. And now I will not, like with this tooth thing, my doctor said we can work with you on, we can give them to you, the pills. We can watch you. We can make sure you're not overusing. We can make sure everything, you stay on track. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. I am not chancing everything I've worked for and to the place that I've gotten to do that. And it would have to be something real serious for me to be able, to do that. There is a different medication that helps with pain that is also something that's used for recovery, which is a medicine that I've talked about before. It's called Suboxone. So Suboxone is a medication that basically it works on similar like pain receptors in your brain, but it doesn't give you any of that high. So basically it's like taking an ibuprofen, but getting different effects. So I have better pain management, but I'm not ever feeling that high. Like, it doesn't do anything in that way. And so it has enabled me to be able to live my life without, I don't know how to describe it. With my pain in my back and all my other issues, like there are days where I could barely get out of bed. This has given me my life back where I can actually function and I don't have to worry about being drowsy or loopy or, hyper, because sometimes like hydrocodone or something like that, it gave me all the energy. I could clean the whole house. Like, I was like, super mom. And so this does not do that. And it is a really good medication that I wish they used more for pain management for people. In Australia, they use it for pain management. In the UK, they use it for pain management. But, the good old US of A, we've got to have all of our people on drugs so the companies that are making the drugs can make all their money, which is sad, but it is kind of the truth. But anyways, yeah, this medication, it has really, really helped me. And like I said, I have not taken anything, not one thing, in 5.5 years. And yeah, it's something that I just was like, it's a part of me. It's made me who I am. It's made me a stronger person. It's made me a better mom. It's, all of these things that I've gone through and overcome have helped make me a stronger, better person in general. I can help people because I can see it. When you've gone through stuff like that and you see somebody else that might be like trying to fight themselves on it, you can see it and you can kind of slowly help guide them if you can. And yeah, so I've met a lot of really, really amazing people too through classes and group therapy. I used to think I would hate group therapy. I was so against going at first. And then it became a place where I loved to go because it was an escape. It was with people that understood what I was going through. And I learned things. Like, I learned a lot about myself, about the disease. Yeah, so that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about today. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you for listening. I know this is like probably the most vulnerable video that I've come up with as of yet. Probably will be my most vulnerable video that I'll ever make, but I'm doing it. I'm putting myself out there, and I hope it can help somebody else. I hope that, if it can help one person, then I'm glad I did it. So if you ever need anybody to talk to, I am here. Absolutely would be willing to talk to you. So yeah, if you have any questions, you guys feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay. You can give it a thumbs down. Just shows me how many people like it and how many don't. It won't hurt my feelings any. So, my nose is getting kind of stuffy, guys. I don't know why. Allergies or something's going on, but anyways. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. And as always, don't forget, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And you are loved more than you know. So with that, guys, keep on shining, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.
Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already and would like to subscribe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and the bell icon to be notified when I put up a new video.